Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. A brother asked a very, very interesting question. He said, okay, Shaitan persuades us to do sins. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that innahu lakum aduwwun mubin, that he is your open enemy. So before humans existed, there were jinns and possibly maybe other beings like Hin and Bin and some of the other beings. So who persuaded them to do the evil? And as the angel said when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa, that I am instating somebody in the position of Khalifa on the earth. And Khalifa actually means somebody who comes after. There must be somebody in the leadership position that this particular being is replacing. And angels right away said that you are bringing somebody in the picture who would cause unrest and yasfiku dima, and will cause the bloodshed. So that means the sins were happening on the earth before the existence of humans. So who was persuading it? And when Shaitan tries to persuade us to do evil, who is persuading Shaitan? Does Shaitan has a Shaitan too? Well, remember, you have to understand human first to understand Shaitan or jinn or those beings. Just like humans have souls, jinns also have souls. So did all the other beings that might have existed before the jinns that are mukallaf, means they are responsible, they're answerable for their deeds. All of these beings have souls, and then when you have a body, for example, let's understand from the human perspective, and the same will apply to them. Human, which is bashar, which is an apparent appearance of the human being, and the jinn actually means someone who is hidden from the material world that we see. That's jinn. And bashar is somebody who is not hidden from the material world, in fact is part of the material world. So bashar, insan, comprises of soul, body, and also nafs. Nafs is that part of your body where the desires emerge. Now, if your nafs is not trained, evil desires will emerge in it. If the nafs is trained, good desires emerge in it. That's why in Quran we see the word nafs at the category of ammara. وَمَا أُبَرِّئُ نَفْسِي إِنَّ النَّفْسَ لَأَمَّارَةٌ بِالسُّوءِ. So nafs ammara is the lowest category of nafs, where the nafs is constantly pushing you to do evil. Then there is nafs lawama. The nafs al-lawama is where you are somewhere between the good and the bad. You're getting pushed towards doing more good, and then you are finding yourself not liking the evil, the bad, the sins. And then you basically go and elevate the levels of your nafs to nafs mutma'inna, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this nafs in Surah Al-Fajr, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about this nafs al-mutma'inna and says, Ya ayyatuha nafs al-mutma'inna. This mutma'inna, this content nafs, is where the human is at a level of peace. This is not the highest level yet. There is a level of radiyah and mardiyah, and then kamila, the completion of the nafs, where the nafs spiritually get elevated to the level of soul. So just like humans have nafs, jinns also have nafs, where the desires come in. These desires compel humans to do good or bad. Similarly in the jinns, the same deal. Not all jinns are evil. The evil among the jinns are the shayateen min al-jinn, the evil. Just like there are shayateen min al-ins, alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. It's evil, shaitan is jinn, or the evil jinns, which is shayateen. They whisper in you things. They don't force you to do things, they whisper in you. So in them, within the jinns, of course, shayateen min al-jinn, they whisper and the jinns too. So who whisper in the shaitan? Shaitan himself, the Iblis we're talking about in particular, is in his self evil. He's a factory, his nafs is a factory of evilness. That's what boils from within, and then when it boils up, he spreads it. So just remember that just like human souls are taken by the angels, jinn souls are also taken by the angels. And then just like we go through the process of life after death, they will also be going through the process of life after death, as we will be resurrected on the day of judgment to be presented in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, answerable for our deeds. As the mizan or the scale is set up, same goes for them. As the humans will enter the Jannah or the Jahannam, jinns will also enter the Jannah or the Jahannam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best what other beings. So who compels shaitan to do evil? He himself is evil. He's the source of it. So that's basically what it is. And before humans, when the jinns were living, also among jinns, there were jinns who were in the category of shayateen. And this particular thing of desire or nafs, ego, was also in Iblis, and that's exactly what compelled him to do what he did when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered everyone present there, including angels and the shaitan, to bow down to Adam. He refused because his ego kicked in, his nafs kicked in and said, I will not gonna bow down to somebody who apparently in my thought process, is inferior to me. خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين. You created me from fire, you created him from clay, and I've been created from smokeless fire, the purest of all the fires, and he has been created with mud and water and clay, stinky. I don't want to bow down to him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him a fair trial. ما منعك? What stopped you from bowing down to Adam? إذ أمرتك, when I ordered you. And his old thing was his ego, his nafs. His nafs. That's what basically, I hope this answers your question. So shaitan is a label, umbrella, and Iblis is the head of those shayateen. And he is the one where the evil springs and comes out and gets spread in the other shayateen. Through those, gets spread into the other beings. Allah knows best. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.